What is happening there, Reject Nation? Greg and John here today with the Spider-Man No Way Home official trailer finally out. Let's keep the journey going with something that, you know, we have been doing all along. Spider-Man No Way Home, real plot leak proven by teaser trailer. Excited to see what's in store. Excited to see what Warren was indeed right about all this time. But guys, before we go into that, gotta shout out today's sponsor, and that is Squarespace. Not sure if you've ever heard of Squarespace from any YouTuber before. We might be the first ones ever to tell you about Squarespace. But hey, I came up with this myself. If you're looking to build your own perfect website, stick around to the end of the video to find out more. Let's roll into this.
What's going on, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU, and I'm still coming down from the Spider-Man No Way Home teaser trailer hype.
Hello, Peter.
But let's be honest, I think it's going to be a while until most of us come down from it. And if you haven't heard, the Spider-Man No Way Home teaser trailer broke the record for most online views in its first 24 hours after release, which is insane, but not unexpected. It got 355.5 million views worldwide, topping the total of 289 million views for
Avengers
the first trailer
game
for Avengers Endgame.
Oh, no way! What? I actually did not hear about that. I have not been around social media the day we're filming this. That's exciting. That makes perfect sense, actually. You know, knowing the amount of buildup that we have had towards this one trailer. There was a lot of anticipation and demand for the Endgame trailer. Believe me, I remember that time. But I don't think it quite reached the level of Spider-Man No Way Home, weirdly enough. So that's just kind of awesome to learn that fact right here with that camera pointed at us.
New trailer to beat.
That is awesome. That's so exciting. Well earned, well deserved, even with a leak the day before. That's amazing.
And this is just the teaser. Can you imagine if they actually put all three Spider-Man on screen in a trailer for a significant amount of time? I think that would easily beat this teaser. So it doesn't look
One
like the
more
hype is
view.
going to stop. I must issue, however, a spoiler warning. I am about to talk about the actual plot for Spider-Man No Way Home. There are going to be spoilers in it. If you've been following me and my Spider-Man videos, you know that a lot of the leaks that I've been talking about are true. They were confirmed true by the teaser trailer. The same thing goes for these plot details that I'm going to be revisiting and breaking down right now. So you have been warned. I think a good majority of you have probably heard this one before, so I'm just going to read through it and then we'll talk about it and connect it to the trailer afterwards.
Sure.
It says, Peter's life is ruined after his identity was revealed at the end of the last Mysterio movie.
Accurate.
It says, he is now facing trial. Matt Murdock is his lawyer. Peter goes to Doctor Strange and asks him to cast a spell to make everyone forget that he is Spider-Man. However, something goes wrong with the spell and they break reality and bring 5 spider villains of other dimensions to the MCU.
We saw
Green
4 or
Goblin
5
from the first
yeah.
Spider-Man film, Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, the
confirmed.
Sandman from the third Spider-Man film, the Lizard from The Amazing Spider-Man, and Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
We know he's in
saw his work.
AKA the Green Goblin, is talking to the others, asking what is the last thing they remember, and they all say Spider-Man killed them. Doctor Strange wants to take them back to their original dimensions, but the villains fear that returning would mean that they would return exactly where they came from, meaning they would die again. Peter wants to let them free because he feels bad because the other Spider-Man in the other universes killed them.
Okay, so far, what we definitely have confirmed, the events of Far From Home picking up right from there, him going to Doctor Strange. A lot of us have already sold ourselves included. That's Matt Murdock in the trailer from the neck down.
The hairy arms.
Looks so much like him. And we got some of the villains in here, but we don't know exactly how they all break out. There's a lot of like missing detail points there, so. We'll see. Sometimes these are conflicting, sometimes these are accurate, but the journey is still just beginning.
Peter fights Doctor Strange and breaks the key, which is a cube that held them captive, and the villains are now free. If you caught my breakdown, you can remember that I mentioned the cube and that it was very important. I didn't remember exactly what it was at the time, but now I do thanks to this plot leak. It is the key that keeps them in the prison. But Peter breaks it. The villains are now free and they start destroying parts of New York. And to stop them, Peter somehow brings Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man to the MCU to help him. There is a big rematch between Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Doc Ock, and between Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and Electro. The final battle is at the Statue of Liberty, with the 3 Spider-Men fighting together, fighting the Sinister Six.
It was just crazy about watching this. It's like we've seen so many different videos, like beyond just Warren, about Spider-Man No Way Home, and now we actually have real footage to complement everything that's being talked about. It's just such a weird journey.
It doesn't feel real still. It still feels like some hypothetical fanfic.
It's like real footage. It's crazy.
To be clear, I have no idea who the 6th member is, or when or how they come into the scene.
Mysterio or Scorpions, the 6th one.
And the villain that we were questioning if it was Lizard or not, I believe it now is because of this plot leak. Because keep in mind, I was
that definitely looks like Lizard.
3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I did a video on it. We can go back and find that video, but it was way before the teaser trailer. And everything in it is accurate. Which also means, for some doubters out there, which I totally understand, but it also means that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man are indeed
they're
coming.
definitely in this.
Now, this actually does help clear up a few things in the teaser trailer. There is one specific scene where we see Doctor Strange and Peter on a train. Doctor Strange is performing some crazy cool magic, and a lot of people were wondering if they're fighting here. And now the answer looks like yes, but the other question was, who are they fighting? And the answer is, they're fighting each other. And to me, it's kind of funny because it's like, sorry, Peter, but you stand no chance against Doctor Strange, and we can see that in this footage. Doctor Strange takes the train that they're on and duplicates it and sends them off into the sky. He's the master of the mystic arts. Sorry, Peter, you don't really have a chance here. But of course, they're going to be allies. I don't believe that they're going to actually be enemies throughout the movie. This will probably be a pretty epic fight, and then after, Doctor Strange is going to say something like, well, we have to get them back.
If you didn't catch our live stream, one thing that we were really theorizing on, because a lot of people were asking about Doctor Strange's behavior, like that was a 5.5 hour live stream, and at least half the questions were all about Doctor Strange and what we think might be going on with him. And for me, it's like some people are saying the whole Mephisto thing. Some are like, maybe it's Wanda controlling him. I'm like, I'm more likely to be Mephisto than I am thinking it has something to do with Wanda. However, I wouldn't be surprised if after the whole ordeal of, trying to erase everyone's mind from Peter Parker, if actually we saw 2 different Doctor Stranges in this trailer alone, and maybe he's fighting that version of Doctor Strange. Could just be another fun fight scene between, when the heroes fight each other. It might be, most likely. However, I don't know, maybe after everything happens and you got this multiverse stuff happening, you got a darker Doctor Strange, maybe the one from What If comes in. How crazy would that be, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Now, another thing this confirms is that Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, is going to be Peter's lawyer in the beginning. In my breakdown, I put a few photos of this mysterious person, and it really does look like Matt Murdock. And since this leak has been pretty accurate so far, I'm gonna go ahead and say, yes, that is him.
I
and this leak
fully believe
actually
it.
confirms something that Alfred Molina said in a recent interview about returning as Doc Ock. Yes, he did give it away. He straight up just told everybody, yeah, I'm returning for Spider-Man No Way Home. He even said that he had a conversation with the director about how he was going to return when he was dead, which the director replied, in this universe, no one's really dead. And obviously with the multiverse, that's true. And he said that he was going to be taken from that moment at the very end when he is sinking into the water, which means he's going to be taken right before he dies. And we can assume that this is going to be true for the other villains as well. This is confirmed when Norman Osborn asks everybody what's the last thing you remember, and they all say Spider-Man killing them, except for the Sandman, because he did not die, which is actually why I believe, and some other people do as well, that he's going to be good. In the trailer, we actually see Sand with the lightning, and that could be him actually trying to protect Peter Parker. At the end of Spider-Man 3, Sandman and Peter parted ways peacefully. Peter Parker said, I forgive you. And Sandman was just trying to do it for his daughter.
But wait a minute, that would make him a 6th member of the Sinister, or one of the 6, if he's actually a good guy. Or maybe if there's some level of conflict that does arise later on. Maybe he starts off as the Thomas Hayden Church, who is on a better path right now. and then goes back to having to join sides with the Sinister.
Yeah, maybe he's got nothing to lose after being plucked into this dimension.
Or he has to, or maybe the only way to get back home is do the mission with the Sinister, you know?
This says that the final battle is going to take place on the Statue of Liberty, and it's going to be the 3 Spider-Men versus the Sinister Six. And we've actually seen a leaked photo of the Statue of Liberty holding a Captain America shield, and this was from the set of Spider-Man No Way Home. So we can also believe that that is indeed going to be the final scene. And the last thing I want to talk about is something that is very key, pun intended, to Spider-Man No Way Home, which is the cube key that Doctor Strange has that Peter breaks. I've heard a little bit of rumblings around about what this key actually does, and it's pretty much like it says. It keeps the villains trapped inside of some sort of magical prison. The only thing I'm really unclear of right now is whether or not the villains kind of just pop out of the middle of the air, then Doctor Strange goes and he retrieves them and he puts them in the prison, or if they pop up in the sanctum somehow. That's kind of a part that I'm unclear of, but I would really love to see Doctor Strange fight these villains. I also heard that Doctor Strange somehow gets hurt, and he needs his power to kind of rebuild the key or keep it together, because that's how they're going to get them back to their.
You got to get him out of the movie for a while, right?
Gotta leave Peter stranded.
And not going to be able to help Peter Parker, which is why the other Peter Parkers come in.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like if Doctor Strange was here, you'd be like, why isn't this his movie?
All this in a few waves of his hands.
Yeah, you got to get rid of him at some point, or else the stakes are greatly diminished if you have Doctor Strange fighting with you the whole time. But that's why I was saying that maybe something goes wrong and there might be an evil Doctor Strange in here, but then it would become about bursting that evil Doctor Strange. But then again, that might be an indicator that the fight between Doctor Strange and Peter Parker, instead of them going, all right, we need to work together on this, maybe Spider-Man wins that fight somehow, and then Doctor Strange gets injured. So it's just this big sequence of consequences that Peter has to deal with. I don't know how, maybe he uses Wong for help. I don't know. Wong leaves in the trailer, maybe he comes back, but we'll see. We'll see.
And I know a lot of people were saying, well, we really want our Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, to kind of go into his own character, not really get help, and I do think we are going to see that in this film. I do think at some point Doctor Strange will kind of be taken out of the picture, and it's really just going to be about him, and it's going to be his decision to bring the other Spider-Man in, and it's going to be his decision on what to do with the villains. I do think he's really going to grow up here. But so far, that I know, that is the most accurate plot details that we have. Again, I got it way before the trailer came out, and when the trailer came out, it proved most of it real. So be sure to let me know what you think about this in the comments down below, and if you're new, consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date on Spider-Man news and of course MCU news. For live updates, you can always follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
All right, awesome. Let the journey continue on until the movie finally comes out. Thanks, Warren, for putting that together, and thank you for keeping us accompanied with Spider-Man info throughout this whole journey leading up to the trailer. Now we got like at least one more, perhaps, preferably 2 more. Guys, subscribe to Cosmic Wonder, subscribe to The Real Rejects, click that notification bell, hit that like button. Thank you so much for being here. And of course, big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Because guys, if you're looking to build yourself the perfect website, definitely check out the tools and resources available through Squarespace.
Maybe you need publishing tools to help you organize and schedule some blog posts.
I do.
Or you want to take your engagement to the next level with
I do.
Well, then you want to take advantage of this fully integrated comment, like, and response system.
I would like that very much.
Then this is for you. You're going to want to use the code. Either way, Squarespace has a beautiful online platform.
It's beautiful.
And it's here to help you connect. It's here to help you connect with your audience and even generate revenue via gated members-only content.
I like revenue.
You can manage your members, send emails, communications, and leverage your audience insights.
I like communicating.
All in one easy-to-use platform.
Easy. So you can integrate your website with your social media. They can do it all. And with Squarespace extensions, they can even help with things like inventory management, bookkeeping, shipping, and more. I'm really appealed to the more part.
So much more. In fact, you can even get a free trial of Squarespace at squarespace.com.
Squarespace.com.
And when you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/therealrejects.
That's our name.
And save 10% on your first purchase of a domain or a new website.
You hear that?
Yeah.
So once again, thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring the Squarespace Rejects. That's our new name.
That's right. Be there or be square. But don't reject Squarespace.
Space out.
Space.